being reported that many of the ex-Battlefield developers are starting to return to work on Battlefield 6. One of the current Battlefield devs tweeted out that they're starting to see new faces in the office every day now, and a lot of these are the returning old school Battlefield devs. Now, these are devs that made things like Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, and even Battlefield 2042. A lot of the developers have now been talking about how they feel like this is kind of the golden age of Battlefield again, like it used to be back years ago when things like Bad Company, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 were out, when the game was really, really popular. And I think a lot of these developers are returning because of that popularity, but the game is gaining some serious traction. Now, when the game first launched, we had 750,000 players on Steam alone. That's not including things like the EA launcher or Xbox or PlayStation's numbers. The opening weekend of the game, it sold over 7 million copies, and it has now been confirmed this past week that Battlefield 6 is the best-selling game of 2025. And in 1 month, Battlefield 6 has outsold the best-selling Battlefield game ever, which was Battlefield 1. So in 1 month, Battlefield 6 sold more copies than Battlefield 1 has done in its entire life cycle. So that is pretty insane for a Battlefield title. Now, I will be interested to see what comes of this when they're hiring all these people back. We have heard rumors from some of the devs that eventually, 4 or 5 years from now, they want to make Battlefield a yearly title. I'm not a big fan of that. I think we could do every 2 years for Battlefield would be great. We'll have to wait and see what goes on there. But I would assume with the popularity of Battlefield, RedSec being free, and they're looking to even do this $1 million tournament for RedSec now, where you have, influencers and things like that playing, but also an open bracket for anyone to just join in and play and sign up. I think they're going to have a lot more people working on the game to make sure that the multiplayer is running smoothly, and also to make sure that the Battle Royale is running smoothly. My only concern, and this is always a concern for me, and I'm sure a lot of you, if you've ever played Call of Duty, if you've played Warzone, I feel like Call of Duty had suffered more since Warzone was announced, because I feel like a lot of things that are done for the game are done for Warzone before multiplayer. I'm really hoping that the DICE devs can keep the two separated to where RedSec's its own thing, multiplayer's its own thing. I know a lot of people love RedSec. If you're like myself, you love the multiplayer. So I want everyone to enjoy whatever they like to play, but at the same time, I hope the balance and everything that they do in game, update-wise, really focuses on each individual thing instead of trying to combine them just to make sure they get an update out that helps out in one or the other. Anyway, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about these ex-Battlefield developers returning to the studio. This is great news because some of those games that these guys made were some of the most, probably, I guess I would say, popular, maybe not as popular as some Battlefield titles, but the ones that a lot of people talk about. You always hear people talk about Battlefield 3 and 4. Those were great games. I've played all the Battlefield titles, and those are probably the most popular two when you hear people speaking about Battlefield. Now, at times when they were released, they had their issues and had their problems, but when people look back at previous Battlefield titles, those are the two that a lot of people talk about, and of course, things like Bad Company as well. So seeing some of these older developers return to the studio after leaving is a really good sign for the future of Battlefield 6. Leave me a comment with your thoughts, and of course, if you like the video, hit the like. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.